Welcome to Ignite Interviews. I'm Cyndi Donahue, and I'm very excited to be speaking with Joy Tang of Markable. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're in Spokane.
I know. I just moved to Spokane like a year and a half ago.
And why did you decide to move?
It was actually for my husband's job. He's a doctor at Sacred Heart. I've been following him around over the last 8 years because he's a neurosurgeon, and he had 7 years residency and 1 year fellowship. So we've been around the country. Like I was in Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, and California for his Stanford fellowship, and now we're here. And I'm so happy that we decided to settle down. Like this is the first time in my life we're like, yeah, we're settling down in one place and stay here, maybe until the kids go to college or something.
And you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
And then and you also started a company at the same time. So you have 2 young children and a company.
Yeah, my company is actually my first child.
Got it. That's good. You have 3 children. Yeah, I like that.
I started the company first. So that's actually, I started the company when I was dating my husband before we got married. I knew that, I was a struggle with life-work balance, because I had a really good career when I was in Chicago. I was basically the leader of high-frequency trading finance industry.
Wow.
The whole industry started in 2007, and I was very fortunate. I joined the industry like at 2007 when I just graduated from college from MIT, the nerdy school.
That's good. You're a nerdy mathematician, right?
That's like, I have a very nerdy side, and I was basically writing algorithm to decide when to buy and sell in the market automatically. I also program. I'm a programmer at that time as well. So it was making, we were making like $200,000 every single day.
Wow.
With the algorithm. So I had a really good career. But when I met my husband, he has to move around the country. I was like, how is this gonna work? But fortunately, I'm a little entrepreneur myself. Both my parents are entrepreneurs. Huh? So my mom is actually a serial technology entrepreneur. Like she's the first lady who brought QR code, the technology, to China.
Wow.
And this was like 20 years ago. And my dad, he's been building schools from scratch all over the country in China. So that's kind of like how I raised.
Yeah.
And when I was doing high frequency trading, I had 8 big screens on my desk. 7 of them is looking at numbers, jumping around, and 1 screen I save it, for my own, stress relief outlet.
Yeah.
So it's social media. It's like I look at Instagram, I look at YouTube, follow these influencers. I like to look at them, what they're wearing, what they're using daily. I was like, oh, it's so relaxing to look at them. And I often...
So that was your release.
That was the release,
yeah.
Yeah. So when I see something, let's say I like your watch, I wanted to buy it, and I will make a comment on Instagram and say, hey, where can I buy this? But the influencer, most of the time, they will just ignore all these comments.
Because there's so many of them.
There's so many of them.
Right.
So I was really frustrated. I was like, I'm one hand, I'm looking at, the financial algorithm, try to, get like nanosecond speed advantage on every single trade. And on here, I'm sincerely wanted to make a trade, and it's not letting me have.
They're not letting you shop.
Yeah, I was like, this is like it's a huge market. Shopping is a huge market, but then it's super inefficient.
Yeah.
So my job, even in finance, my job was always to look for the inefficient market and get in there. So, I was like, maybe I should do a startup. That way I can have a life-work balance. It's technology startup. I can work anywhere.
Yeah, so it fits your life, and then you could have your love of shopping and be able to move around.
Yes. So that's how I started. But now, I'm super excited at my job. We're doing really well,
Yeah, so what is Markable? Like, how would you describe it to someone?
So Markable is a one place for all that you can see an influencer, look at the social media, and then click a button and shop right away.
So you're making visible content shoppable, right? Isn't that your tagline?
Making visible content shoppable, yes. So social commerce. I initially started from developing an AI technology because that's my background. I'm like a nerd, AI nerd.
I like that you're a nerd. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, so we use algorithm to automatically recognize, what that watch is, and people can shop right away. So that's what we initially do. So literally you click on one search shop button, and then you can see multiple vendors carrying similar watch, and you can make the purchase.
Right there.
Right there.
That's amazing.
And we actually launched this technology with China's Facebook and China's YouTube.
Okay.
So the reason we did it in China first, because it was COVID, and it was really hard to, meet people in person. But then this technology has, so much advantage. We're actually the only company in the world that have video recognition technology in the world.
That's so incredible. And now you're based in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually going to grow a Spokane local team. So I currently hire 2 full-time in Spokane already.
Wow,
and
really?
we have 3 part-times already.
That's great. Is everyone working from home since it's technology?
At this moment, yes, because of COVID.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to the day when, people can come back to office. I think it will be more fun to see my team in person.
So it's completely revolutionary. I mean, no one has created what you're doing, and it's based on AI then?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an AI deep learning visual recognition technology. And behind that, we also have 10 million products in our database. Anywhere you can think of, Macy's, Bloomingdale,
So you've already recognized, your technology has already recognized all these products, so they're in a database. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So that was actually our step 1. And that step 1, we were able to raise like $15 million US over the last few years. And now we're working on step 2.
So you're doing another raise?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do another raise maybe 6 months from now, not immediately.
And what will that enable you to do? To keep growing, to hire more team, or?
Yeah. So interestingly, because we launched the social search shopping buttons, on China's Facebook and YouTube. But one thing we noticed that the conversion rate sometimes is not as great of, if the influencer is selling this exact product.
Got it.
Because we were recommending, visually similar products.
Not the product.
Not the product. So the step 2 is about the product.
Right.
We noticed that when, because we make more money when consumer buys more. Even our relationship with, Asia's Facebook and YouTube is that, we share the commission with them. So when the consumer bought something, we share the commission. We actually don't charge the brand based on how many views they get, which is another issue in the advertising industry. So people are buying views, but they don't get any conversion. So it's just money goes to a black hole.
Got it.
And for us, every $1 they know exactly why it is spent, and then they might be getting $5 back.
Wow. And so is it still is it on American Facebook and Instagram yet?
So it's on TikTok now.
Oh, you're on TikTok.
Yeah, it's also on Instagram now. We just actually launched the Instagram today. So it's moving really fast.
That's amazing.
Last week we launched on TikTok. This week we launched on Instagram. It's not a search shop button though, but it's the exact item shop button.
Okay.
So we realized that, for a consumer to better make the purchase decision, it's not just about visual similarity. Most of the time they prefer the exact product.
Right, they don't want something that looks like what you're seeing.
Yes.
They want what they are seeing.
Exactly.
Right.
So now we actually evolve our business model, above just being an AI technology. So now the first thing we do, we actually use AI to, understand what is going viral in the social market right now. So what people are actually talking about, what they're excited, what they're buying.
So you're using technology to even find where to put the search buttons.
Yes. Wow. So what people are actually buying, and then the other thing is we noticed a big pain point in the US is that when influencers are selling products, they're representing the brand, for example. First of all, the brands have to pay lump sum of money for them to even make a post. And that's just you can't predict the conversion. And also there's lots of micro influencers, who are young and starting up influencers who have decent amount of fans but not huge yet. They might not able to get the brand's endorsement, but they also have ability to sell products. However, right now, even most of these affiliate fee, from Macy's, Bloomingdale, they only pay even Amazon, they pay 5 to 6% commission to these influencers, which is very low.
Right.
So the interest is high, but then the commission is so low that they're just not that interested. So that's why I think, comparing, what we see in the US and China, the China social commerce is booming. It's growing so fast. They already hit the peak and now they're like, the bubble is like bursting phase.
Yeah.
But US is still like the infant phase. I think that's because, the ecosystem, the environment is not ready for it to explode yet.
Right. So you're just kind of building the foundation for when it's ready. Mm-hmm.
So the opportunity right now we're doing is that we actually see that all these influencers, they're selling, one of the influencers I know in Spokane, one video, she's like selling 10 Amazon products.
Wow.
But the only way for people to find these products, they have to first, exit this video. She's talking about the product, go to her profile link, and then click on the profile link, and then she may have like an Amazon link, and you have to click on it, and then you have to go to the Amazon link to go through like 100 of her products to find which one is the one that she was talking about in the video.
Right, because they want the specific thing.
Yeah, so it's like, that's crazy, because we know that in the internet world, every additional click, you're losing 99% of the customers.
Really? For every click, you lose that many?
Yes, because 1% click-through rate is considered pretty high click-through rate on the internet world.
Wow.
So right now, what we're doing is like, first of all, we get trained really well in Asia.
Yeah.
And now we're adding this shop button onto the exact video. Mm-hmm. And if you click on that button, you go to the exact product.
So if I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at some influencer and I like their sweater, I click on it and I can buy that sweater.
Right away. So that's what we do.
Amazing.
So that's not just AI anymore. We wrapped a lot of things around it. Also the integration, the shopping integration with Instagram, with TikTok. How do we allow the influencer to be able to add this shopping button onto their post? Mm-hmm. A lot of things that influencers they're not technical. They don't know how to do this. So we're basically helping all the influencers to be able to, add the shopping button to their content right away, and also not just make 5% from Amazon, make 20% from us.
Oh, so you're giving them a much higher percentage,
yes.
So they're super incentivized to use you, to use Markable. Mm-hmm.
So we not only we use AI to find out what they should be selling, we go through their previous data and see what sells well.
So you're helping them too.
We help them, and then we also know what is selling in the market. We scrape the entire, social media everywhere. We also have Amazon sales data. We understand what is trending, and then once we figure out, what influencer should be selling what, we go to the China manufacturer. And they will innovate this product.
For them?
For them.
Wow.
And the innovation cost is actually really low because we go to the factory already making similar products. But then we read the reviews. We use AI to scrape the reviews and figure out what's wrong with this product.
And then create something better.
Wow,
that's amazing. So how do you find the influencers? Are you using AI to find the influencers?
Yes.
Okay.
We use AI to find the product, to do product selection. We also use AI to find the influencers.
Wow. That's amazing. It's crazy. And are you finding, you said some in Spokane as well? Are you finding like local influencers too?
We actually found locally 6 top influencers in Spokane.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
And they're all really beautiful. Some men or some women, mostly women. They're moms, moms are basically the ones, making most of the purchasing decisions in the house. You had to buy things for the kid, for the family, and for yourself. So they can sell anything.
So you're really in 2 industries. You're really kind of on the front end of the whole influencer movement, which is, it's a whole nother conversation. And then you also created this AI platform that you are, super ahead of anything else. The fact that you can look at a video and click on it and then buy something.
Yes.
It's amazing. I'm so glad that you moved to Spokane.
Thank you.
And what have you thought since you've been here for the 1.5 years after all the places you've lived? What do you think are some of the advantages of living here, of basing your company here?
I love Spokane. I grew up in big cities. I was born in a city next to Hong Kong. And then, when I go to MIT, I was in Boston, and I worked in New York on Wall Street, and I was in Chicago. So previously, all my life has been big cities. Yeah. And when I go to Spokane, I just feel so refreshed. I feel like people are closer. More people are smiling. That's what I like to see, because I think, maybe the living expense is not as crazy compared to big cities. People are living a more affordable life here. And people here actually have more affordable income and more affordable disposable income.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really does. And when I first moved here, I moved from out of town as well, from a big city. And I remember I was driving down the street, we were looking for places to live, we were looking at houses. And while we were driving, two teenage boys waved at us. And I'm from a city, right? So I was like, are they joking? But they were genuinely waving and saying hello. And that's what I love about Spokane. People are so genuinely kind.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's why they're smiling.
Yeah, and also it's so close to Seattle. And Seattle is like the cross-border e-commerce center of the entire country.
Yeah.
It's
so for you to be based here, that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's a 45 minutes flight. I can be back and forth. It's better than, when I was in New York and California. I have to stuck in the car for like 2 hours to get to one place just to have a meeting.
And that takes you away from your kids longer and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you moved here, and I'm so glad that Markable is based here. And I can't wait to see what's to come and to hear more about the influencers that are local and abroad that are using your service, and making more money at it, right?
Yes.